Well, I haven't heard back. We haven't heard back yet.
The wind was blowing pretty
It's a
good.
day hard at work today cutting down trees.
But,
What's
So
that?
nice.
But I saw you hard at work today cutting down trees.
Needed it. Getting ready for the.
Forgot the air quotes. Hard at work.
Yeah, it was like a hazardous road area to be cutting down trees. I don't know.
All right, you guys are ready to go.
Okay. I'll call to order at 6 o'clock. Is anybody out in the public?
Nope.
Okay. All right, roll call. Roger's here.
Here.
Name's here and I'm here. Approval of the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, budget summary. So, I don't know. You've been working on this. The library don't have their numbers to you yet, but you worked on TPW and the police. Is there any questions, I guess, if you guys looked over this? Normally, this time frame, and I know we're kind of, trying to catch up to speed, but we'll get kind of a listing with each department and that sort of thing. You're still putting that stuff in the computer.
Yeah, so, and I've met with Dave, I met with Dan. I haven't talked to Kate from the library yet.
Okay,
The last I heard from Sandra was I should be getting, they were gonna approve the budget tonight or today. It said Monday, but I don't know if
Yeah.
that day was right by the sound of it.
yeah, I think it might be next Monday, might be
Okay.
their board meeting, but I could be wrong. I think it's a second. Anyway, it's in the next week, I know.
Okay,
So I do know they're close, I think.
okay. And I did send them, I sent Kate budget,
The form.
the form for her and, I sent her the new health insurance as well. So-
Okay,
So she has the premium and stuff for that, just to look at, but.
okay. Yeah, we had some preliminary at the time and I think they were using that, but if you gave her more concrete, I think they're close to having it done, so. Is there any questions, I guess, on your guys' behalf looking at this?
On the budget summary.
Yeah,
Yeah, where are we getting all this money from?
so I'm guessing somewhere in here is their taxable value of,
Yeah, the, the
37.
mills, yeah,
That's the 2023 value.
oh, I shouldn't say 2023. It should say 2024. I'll make them. It should be 2024.
We're almost maxed out on mills, if I remember correctly.
How does that work? I don't know if I have a full understanding, so I'll run it by a crash course in that.
I
We have
don't
20.
have a full understanding of it, but I remember Paula saying our maximum mills were 22 at one point, I believe. Maybe 23.
And so it's per 1,000, so like. So the two, it's like for the ambulance, so you get like 2,000. There's one for every 1,000, but like our fire, if you see the asterisks. So. That everything has like an expiration to it, so like our ambulance, I can't remember, maybe you remember, the ambulance one is. Expiring in 30. Because it just happened, right? The ambulance mill. I can't
2
remember.
years ago.
2 years ago, so in 8 years, that will be up, and then we have to. It's voted or elected in.
Yep.
For the people.
So the asterisks are like.
So the
expired
asterisk is,
soon?
so the firing one, the fire, mill
fast.
is
Expires in June.
24, so we want to increase that to 2, just like the ambulance is.
So we're looking at new wording millage for that. That's over at the attorney's office right now, so he's reviewing it.
Okay.
And then each entity would have to look at it and then prove it and then put it on the ballot. So that wording actually has to go to the county clerk by May, I believe it is.
So right now it's 0.93, but if we go through and get it passed, then that's gonna go up to 2.
And it'll look,
And so
yeah,
that's gonna change that by 1.1, which is getting close to what he's
Mhm.
saying the total millage can't go over a certain amount.
and it
So
won't go
public
over.
safety,
Mhm.
I think might be a little different.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. but
Okay.
I could have swore she said, like the max millage that we could
Was 20,
was 22 or 23. Cause I remember when we talked about it, she was like, we're really creeping up towards that maximum.
So we have a cap as to like how much we can
I think so.
throw out.
And then-
Thanks for.
I say, I don't know
Yeah,
what
you
it
could
is
write
off
that
the top of
down,
my
so yeah, I
head,
gotta get to it, okay.
but
Okay.
if
I know.
there's not, okay, but I could have swore
There's
that,
a cap.
right, I
Yeah.
could have swore she said it was somewhere in the
But you're not
22,
sure.
23 range.
Sure.
But you're not sure if the safety falls in that 22 number. It could be that that's treated differently.
It might be.
Yeah.
We can figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be-
That's
those are my
the
questions
big-
on that, I guess. I just don't understand it, so.
Yeah.
Well, so our numbers for the fire, like if we look on, look down on it, it'll be, pretty much relative to what the ambulance is bringing in. So, when I put the numbers in, it was closer to 75. Because we're at 0.93, not 1 right now, it would bring it up to 2. So we would be closer to 75. Than 72, that's how the formula worked out.
I see.
So it'd be about, we'd have 75,000 more coming in. That we have to, I mean, obviously, the towards fire.
Right.
So when that's at 2, it doubles the revenue.
Yeah,
In comparison to what it is now.
Mhm.
And that's why the city operating revenue is so much higher, because that's at 14.
right. And I can get different language too.
Wouldn't it
We
just
can
be the
see what
same as the ambulance then? 'Cause it was
When I
just-
put the formula, which I thought as well, but when I put the formula in, it
It was
changed
slightly
it to,
different?
it was just slightly different. And I can go back and look at the other formula too to make sure that it's spot on, because I have been finding some of the formulas are just a little tweaked.
Would be close to the 70,000.
Yeah, it's gonna be 72 at minimum.
Yeah,
Sure. Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
When will the fire millage, is that like a special election?
we would vote on it in
Yeah, there'd
November.
be in the election in August.
Not the presidential election.
No, so it'll be August, not November.
Gotcha.
But it's been 1 mil for, I think, 40 years.
Right.
So we can't really survive anymore.
So if we're looking over the city council agenda. The only thing that I feel like. It pertains to money, it's probably this cash, if we're gonna pass this special assessment where we don't abate. The taxes, yeah. But I feel like we probably should just wait and talk about that in the.
In regards to John West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a lot of
that,
information coming
where it's a lot of information, yeah, and I just feel like it is something to do with money, because obviously, if we do that, then we have less money coming in for property taxes, but. There's so much of it, I feel like we'll just wait until the city
But
council.
just a quick note on that,
Yeah.
it's not less money than we're getting now.
No,
It's
It'd be
we
the
were-
same.
Same money that we're getting now, but less than the potential.
Yeah.
Okay, correct.
She
the
would
thing
still,
that I wasn't sure is normally when you buy a building. And it's a certain amount of money, your taxes go up. I didn't know if they were gonna take it up to the amount that she paid for the building, and then the excess of the $1.2 million that she's putting in, that we abate that part. That was the only question I had.
I did read something about that, and I can pull, there was a lot more, like, I think verbiage was a lot better through the stuff from the state. Cause there, I briefly looked at it before Rod came in this morning, so I can pull some, maybe I can get it before we get into the meeting after this, but it broke it down a lot better, but Olivia did, I don't know if you guys saw, it, and she did like break everything down a little easier for everyone to read.
And I thought it was good. I mean, I thought what was there, it was good. That was the only question I kind of had is that. if we're just abating the $1.2 million she's putting in, or are we abating, like, whatever she bought the property, he had that property for so long, and you can only raise the property taxes so much
Right.
each year. So when you buy then normally your property taxes go up to whatever you bought it for. That was my own.
I feel like that's what it is.
He would be taxed on what she just bought it for,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we,
And then it would
so we
or it
definitely
would stay.
a little bit more property taxes
Yep.
than we were getting from him.
Correct, we'd be getting more than what we are right now.
But,
She got it pretty cheap too, right? Like less than two.
Yeah, but he had it for many, many years, and so I'm sure it's gonna go up some. So, all
What
right,
is this here? I don't,
Okay, so this found, well, Rad helped me find this, so this is the unrestricted balance for our general fund is what we have, we can spend, like we can do whatever we want with it. Restricted is what, like, the council or the state puts, like a hold on, like that is put in, like the back burner, like if we need to, you plan on using that, that's when the council or the state is, we can't use it in our general fund. Don't touch it. This is unrestricted. So this is just like a projection of where our general fund has been trending. And there's no, unless we have something big coming up that, I mean, obviously I'm still learning everything that, we have in the plans. Our projection and our general fund is awesome. So we're in the 95th percentile for all cities within the state of Michigan.
oh, I wondered what that was,
Yeah,
in the state.
so in the state, so we're above average for what we have in our general fund.
I know we're conservative,
Yes, we are very conservative.
but I think it's done us good, so,
Mhm.
but
So I just wanted to show, like, because I just wanted to show, like, that we are very healthy for the city, that, what the funds we have.
so if you go to 2010 and we're just below 50%, 50% of what?
So we don't, it doesn't have the average.
Okay.
So this isn't based on, this is just based on cities and
Other cities, okay.
So there's no population to this. So we're not compared to another city that is in our population. This is every city that is like dedicated to a city. So 50%, that is just, that's not the actual average. So average could be more closer to, like in between, let's say 40 and 60. And then that's like the average, and then we want to be somewhere in there. So where we would want to be would be closer to 60%. Versus the bottom, because we don't have the population like a bigger city does, right? So the bigger city is bringing in more property taxes or more revenues.
It's like
So-
our 50% is not the same as someone else.
Right,
50%.
so he's
Because
gonna
they're bigger
actually,
cities.
and he said he's gonna, he wrote a note and he's gonna try to like get us this to where we can compare to other cities our size.
Okay, that was.
being at like 125% now is a better position than 2010, when we were at 50%, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it means we've got money that we can do some big project or
Yeah.
just be conservative for something that comes up and taxes.
So back in 2010, we had like half of the money we should have. Is that what I'm saying?
We just had half
Have
of
compared to other people.
what we have in our fund right now. So we are very healthy. We have a lot of funds that if we need to, we can plan for other things. Or if, like the CIP, those, which is what I don't remember how far out that goes, like every 5 years, is it out for 5 years at a time or 8 years at a time?
I don't remember.
How much access do we have?
You want a dollar figures.
I'm just kidding. I mean, is it,
Yeah.
what is it?
125%.
I mean, is it 5 million? Is it 50,000?
No.
Is it 10,000?
I can give you a better number when I finish the.
I'm just curious, like how much our access truly is. Like,
With that pot.
we have enough to buy a trash can or
Yes.
new dumpster, new dump truck.
So the budget highlights, we have enough money that I would like to push for most of the stuff to get done.
Could I ask about, we had talked in the DDA about doing some improvements to the amphitheater,
Mhm.
particularly some sunscreens and fans. Could we put something, I don't know how we get something put in there, but it had been discussed, and I think they asked you to start looking into the fans and how much they.
Fans already bought, just haven't done that yet.
Oh, okay. There was like a sunscreen.
Not lotion.
No, it's like a portable one that'll
It's
block
like a
the,
spray. can.
you pull it out and click it in, and it be around the trees areas to try to, there's one particular area on the amphitheater that's still getting quite hot, and people are having a little bit of problem with their instruments getting overheated in that back corner. The trees are helpful, but they're definitely gonna need a few more years of growth before they get.
Okay. The other thing, I know that has been brought up a couple times, but our sewage rate hasn't been touched in quite some time. And I think it's very wise of us to start looking into that. Adam was gonna look at, like, rate studies. With that too, because I think the last rate study was 2014. But I could be wrong. That's just the last thing I saw when I was looking.
It might be before that, it's been.
Maybe
Like to consider an increase, you're
Mhm.
suggesting? Yeah.
with, I mean, the lagoons are gonna need to be completely,
We've gone
Yeah.
from cleanings being hundreds of thousands to millions.
so we need to, yeah, think of a schedule, maybe to increase every year to prepare for that, because that's gonna happen. And we just had to do the regenerators, correct?
Yep.
Which that hasn't hit the budget all the way yet. Only a portion of that has hit the budget. So it'll be okay. We have enough in our budget for that, but it might slide into the next fiscal year. But if those went, we need to start thinking, we need to.
I
something like that.
think we do need to raise the, and maybe have it set so that it does every so often
Mhm.
automatically a certain.
Well, I think we should do a certain percentage every year
Yeah.
for at least.
I mean, we can justify it. Basically, the cost that is costing us to.
Well, so if you look at, so I have the sewage from the 2023, so
What's
Our-
generating?
this one, I have it highlighted, like our operating revenues versus our sewer operations. Not just the depreciation, but we're constantly, we're not making it. From our utilities.
We're digging in.
20 grand a year.
Yeah.
In the negative.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just this year.
And we get some big expense, yeah.
Yeah.
And that big
Coming down.
expense isn't in here. That the generators aren't reflected on this,
Generators, is that what we're saying?
for the
Yes, for the main and the Woodbury Road, only
For this-
part of it's in
the
there.
pumps, and so that isn't even reflected on here, this is just 20, yeah, what was before that, so.
Any idea what dollar amount would be?
I asked Adam
Or do we
for
need
like
study?
more of a schedule on that, on like how the bills are gonna come in, but we've only paid a very little bit of on the bills that I could see. We paid 40, I think we said that was like another two.
So you're asking how much do you think we should increase it?
Yeah, from $75 a
Yeah.
quarter
And
to
I
what?
think the
I
total.
think
on
maybe
that
we
was
need to look at the expenses maybe and
Right,
come up
and
with
we've
an
only paid
idea,
40, so.
but
Right.
I don't feel like $25 a month is. I think it's been set like that for quite some time. You think 12, but I think it might be before that,
Yeah, I don't,
because I.
there was just a folder that said 2014
Yeah.
sewer study rate, and I haven't gotten
I'm trying to think
into.
when I moved in
Yeah.
here, but I think it was $25 when I moved in here, and that was.
So that needs to,
The evaluation.
Well, I think the sewer rate was looked at, and at the time the council opted not to
to increase it.
increase it.
Mhm.
So the survey was done, but then nothing was followed through.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so there's that.
What kind of survey was done?
It was a look at what we
Okay.
had coming up, what cleaning
Okay.
was gonna cost, what we had coming in, what was
Okay.
gonna need to be going out, and
Okay.
maintenance and valve repairs and.
Did Adam say that he was gonna look at the prices for like getting the lagoons?
Yes, he was gonna get us.
Okay,
everything.
I couldn't remember if that's what he said.
At one point, they gave us some stuff.
Yeah,
And it
and
was
that
like
was,
numbers.
because the last one he had was around 1 million, he was gonna get a little more definitive on.
Because he was doing like one at a time or something.
Right,
Do we need to do all three of them now, or is that still the case where we do one and then?
well, right now, it looks like after we did our last sampling, it'd be like 1 and 2.
Which one's the big
Two's not
one?
bad, 2 we did probably 10 years ago,
Okay,
but 1 and 3 has never been done.
is two the big one, or is that?
No.
What do they
Okay.
do? Pump out
That's
the waste? They pump out the waste from it somehow?
Yeah, we have to dredge all the water down and then they come in with bulldozers and trucks and they suck it out. We either have to take it to a landfill or it can be land applied. It depends on what PFAS are in it and what bacteria is in it. and-
Plenty of fish around
Jump in and find it out.
You don't want.
How dare
You'll be
you?
cool.
There's a few carp in there if you're interested.
Oh,
there. We should start a fish hatchery. and-
Well, that's how they get there. They come in off the feed of the geese and the ducks and.
Yeah. Mhm.
No, thank you.
So also she had some training that, I don't know if you, I guess you both maybe know, and she felt like that was beneficial.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we, She
That
liked
was
them.
super beneficial. There was a lot to.
I appreciate having you here at this meeting. I feel this is the most, of the finance meetings I've been to, it's the most that we've actually discussed. And I've learned a lot tonight.
Oh, if my brain wasn't mush, I probably could tell you more.
we
We went from 9 to 3 and no break today, so. It was beneficial though, like we both agreed on just plugging along and just keep going, so. There's still a lot to go over, but it was extremely beneficial and he was thorough, so. Yeah,
Is that something too, when something comes up, you can email him and he can interact?
oh, he gave me his cell phone, so I can get a hold of him whenever. And it was nice because he's had 28 years of experience, but he's got government. He was just like, oh, yeah, last week I was with one village and we did, and this is how theirs was. And so it was nice that he could help compare. I mean, at that point, villages and cities are different, but to see what we're doing differently or maybe better, or we are very like all of our stuff is very thorough, very detailed, and which I like because then we can see where the money's going, like specifically. So where others don't do that, it's just, general. This is where your wages go instead of breaking it down into every single
Category.
category. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I have a lot to work on, but the budget is coming along for next year's. I have a lot of it done, and I just have to now start plugging everything into BSNA. But I was able to take from BSNA and create a spreadsheet, which I think will go so much faster. A spreadsheet is, I can tinker with numbers better versus BSNA, you don't have very much.
It's more static.
Yeah, so that'll be very helpful where I can just like wish lists from them or what they want. I can see versus having something and then I'll accidentally have to delete it or be like, help. With that, so I think it'll go faster.
So once the library gets theirs in, then there'll be a section for them.
Yeah. And I did, like I said, I gave them their stuff, so
Okay.
that they can compare, and because I went back to 2019, I think, is what all mine is, because I wanted to look at trends, so.
Oh, that's
And I
good.
think it goes back to 2019, but, so.
Yeah, COVID was in there. There was a bad trend there for
Yeah.
them, but especially for penalties, but but-
All
all right, well, I think we're gonna probably, if there's anything else, we'll probably call a meeting because we got the next one coming in. We'll sign our checks. So, all right,